Hello, I'm in a very squeaky chair today. Love squeaky chairs. Hi, so today is another one of those art update videos. I have a lot to talk about and discuss. Since my last video, my physical health has got better. I'm still in pain, but I'm able to move around and do more stuff. So that's been good. It's meant I've been able to work and get things done. In the last 2 weeks I have been painting, but I've been processing everyone's orders. And that means going through them all, wrapping them all up, sending them off to the various countries in the world. And I've been enjoying it. In a way it's quite therapeutic, it's a bit like a puzzle. You've got to match the canvas to the person. But strangely I found it quite hard letting go of my art this time round. I think it's the first time I've had this amount of stuff in one go. So sending that all out into the world has been hard. I think that's the hoarder in me struggling to part with stuff. This probably sounds a bit morbid and sad, but in a way it felt like I was putting my canvases in coffins and sending them off, never to be seen again. That sounds weird, but it is difficult to some degree, especially the stuff that you've put your soul into. Parting with that, yeah, I'm waffling. But anyway, this time round everything was far more organised and professional. I sound a bit boastful here. Earlier on this year I put up a whole bundle of canvases, but I did things very differently. So each canvas I wrapped up with bubble wrap and then wrapped that up in brown paper. I did franking and it just felt a little bit chaotic. And I made some changes that made my life so much easier. For example, I bought some flat pack boxes. So I bought 100 odd of these and you sort of fold them up so they form little boxes. And here's one I made earlier. Yeah, it's a bit like Blue Peter, this. This is a smaller version. This is this one. Don't worry, that addresses my post office box, it's okay. But not only did it make the wrapping up so much easier, but it also meant that I could just slip the canvases inside the boxes and not worry about excess packaging. I was using so much bubble wrap earlier on this year. And also to some degree I think it looks more professional when it arrives. You sort of open it up and boom, the canvas is there. Another great positive about boxes is that when it comes to customs labels, I can just stick the label on, no trouble, and they can just go through the post office. As I'm sort of getting better at this and understanding how it all works, one thing I wanted to improve on this time round was my presentation. So one thing I did was buy a bunch of bags like this, and especially for these canvases they just about fit. So it just adds another layer of professionalism, makes them look nicer when you open them in the boxes. So they sit inside like that, and then I put my business card on top, and voila! Simple things like this can really make the difference for things like this. I didn't want people to think I was just shoving these in boxes and not really caring what I was doing. I am proud of what I'm sending out, and I just thought that was a nice touch. Squeaky chair. Some of this might not make much sense or it might be a bit boring, but it's things that I'm learning and it's making things so much easier and cost effective. One other thing I do is I put a business card in with every box that I send out with all my details. The fact that you're watching this right now means that you know me, whereas some people that are purchasing on Etsy don't know me at all. They're finding me on Etsy. That's really, really exciting. Strangers are finding my art, dun dun dun. But also I write a personal note on the back to everyone, and I write their names as well. Things like that. I just want people to know that I am grateful. And yes, every parcel has been wrapped by me, comes from me. I think one aspect of this that lots of people don't appreciate, or it's not that they don't appreciate it, it's that they just don't know, is the amount of time that goes on around the painting. So yes, it might have taken me 3 hours to paint this, but then I have to add on 20 minutes for wrapping up, maybe 10 or so minutes on Etsy, going through it all, checking everything's right. The drive to the post office, the time at the post office, especially if there's a queue. Where I am right now, we only have one lady at the office, which means the queue is always out the door. So for example, I took 30 orders to the post office on Thursday and I was there an hour and a half. There was 1 or 2 problems, and of course it just took time. Each box has to be weighed, stamped, signed for. When I send canvases I always do tracked post, always. Parcels do go missing in the postal system every now and then, but when you pay for tracking, it means that you can track down your post if it goes missing, and especially if you're running a business, that's very important, especially for stuff you can't replace. And I'm not moaning about the time, because that's life, but it is an element to selling art that I hadn't really taken on board until I was actually doing it. So yeah, that sort of brings me to the end of this video. This is the second time I've had to record this video, long story, but I do hope I've come across okay. Overall, I am feeling much better about the behind the scenes process of selling art. I've still got a long way to go. There's always room for improvement. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to document the process as it is right now, because I didn't quite do that earlier on this year. Okay, so I'm now going to go and I will see you soon.